Hi folks, and welcome to another MLO from CDLI for your course 2201, installment number 120. We're talking now about solving problems using inductive reasoning and solving problems using deductive reasoning. So let's get right down to business. A couple examples will take us most of our time for this one. So it says 100 mathematicians attend a conference in Toronto. If everyone who attends shakes hands with everyone else, how many handshakes take place? Okay, let's see. 100 is a lot to count, so probably easiest for us to try and sort of make this a little bit of an easier problem. Look for a pattern with smaller numbers first. So let's say if there's 2 people that attend the conference, we're only going to have 1 handshake. If there are 3 people who attend the conference, well, that's like having 2 people in a room who've already met. Throw another person in there, they've got to shake 2 more hands. So we've got the 1 we already had plus the 2 more, which makes 3 handshakes. If 4 people attend the conference, we've already had 3 handshakes, plus the new person has to shake the 3 hands of the people they haven't met yet, so that makes 6. And then the next person will have to shake an additional 4 hands to make 10 handshakes altogether. The 6th person would have to shake, we've already had 10 handshakes plus another 5, and that would make 15, and so the pattern should continue. So we can see that these numbers are actually increasing by 1 more than the previous increase every time. But how would we predict what the 100th person, how many hands the 100th person would have to shake? Well, let's look for a pattern. We know that each person is connected to how many the previous person had to shake. So let's look at the 6 and 5 and see if we can figure out how to get the 15 out of that, just by looking at the numbers for the pattern. 6 plus 5 is 11, that's no good. 6 minus 5 would be 1, that's no good. 6 times 5 would be 30, that's too much. But, well, 30 is kind of related to 15. Let's see. If we took 6 times 5 and we divided it by 2, we'd get the 15. Maybe that'll work for some others. Let's try it. So if we take 5 times 4 and divide that by 2, hey, we get 10. And if we take 4 times 3 and divide by 2, we'd get 6. Okay, so it looks like we just take the number that we have, multiply by the previous number and divide by 2. So for 100 people, we'd multiply by 99 and divide by 2. So it'd be 9,900 divided by 2, which is 4,500 plus 450, which is 4,950. So there'd be 4,950 handshakes for 100 people. It's a lot of handshaking. Okay. This time we're going to try to solve a problem by deduction. So Federico doesn't trust either of his 2 friends. Enrique lies on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, but tells the truth during the rest of the week. Camilo lies on Fridays, Saturdays, and Thursdays, but he tells the truth the rest of the week. Whoa. Okay, let's summarize this. We got a nice little table here, and tables are often a good way to summarize your information. So Enrique lies on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. And Camilo lies on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then everything else should be the truth. Okay, so all of these are truths. Times when people would tell the truth. Okay, so it looks like in the table that on any given day, if one person is telling the truth, the other one is lying, except on Sunday. So let's see. The question says, on one day, the following dialogue takes place. Enrique says, yesterday I was lying. And Camilo says, so was I. Well, it's possible that they could both be telling the truth today. And if they were both telling the truth today, then let's look at Enrique. He says, yesterday I was lying. And if he's telling the truth today, on the previous day, which was a Saturday, he was also telling the truth. So he's not telling the truth today. So it can't be Sunday. Okay. So all the other options we have, one of them is lying and one of them is telling the truth. Okay. So let's look at Monday, for instance. Actually, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are all very similar. So let's assume that Enrique is lying, and then we'll assume that Camilo is telling the truth and see how that works out. So if Enrique is lying, he says, yesterday I was lying, which would be a lie, which would mean that yesterday he was telling the truth. Okay, So the only day that that could work for would be Monday, if he was telling the truth the day before. Let's see if that fits for Camilo. So Camilo was telling the truth, and he says that he was lying the previous day, but on Sunday, he's telling the truth, so that doesn't work. So none of these ones are going to work. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday are all out. So now we got to check the possibility that Enrique is telling the truth and Camilo is lying, because that's the only other option we have. And then it has to fit into one of these days. Okay, so let's say it's Saturday or Friday, because both of those have the same things, and on the previous day you'll see the same things, right? So if it's Saturday and we're Enrique and he says, yesterday I was lying, and if he's telling you the truth, then Friday should be a lie, which it isn't. So it can't be Saturday, and it can't be Friday. So let's check Thursday. Hopefully that works. So let's assume that Enrique is telling the truth. Let's see what happens. On Thursday, if Enrique tells the truth, he says he was lying the previous day, which is Wednesday, which indeed he was. And if Camilo was lying, he says, yes, I was also lying yesterday. But if he's lying about that, then yesterday he should have been telling the truth, which is what he was doing on Wednesday. So the only way for this to work is if the current day is Thursday. Wow. Interesting question. That's deduction. We didn't gather evidence. We had to make logical connections to sort of decipher exactly what the only possible answer could be. So when we're solving by induction, examine specific examples to decipher a pattern and generalize the pattern. When you're solving by deduction, organize the given information to make it faster and easier to understand, and then use logical connections that answer the question. So posing questions to oneself or trying out different scenarios will help you get your head around that. Hope that